Welcome back. You're watching Newsx with me, Devika Devan. Nearly 14 years after the brutal 2012 Nirbhaya gang rape that shook the country and triggered sweeping reforms in India's sexual assault laws, another alleged rape inside a moving bus in Delhi has now revived those painful memories. But at the same time, there are renewed questions once again, viewers, over women's safety in the national capital. This case is about a 30-year-old woman who was allegedly gang raped inside a moving sleeper bus on Monday night while travelling through parts of West Delhi. Two accused, identified as the bus driver Umesh and conductor Ramendra, have been arrested and sent to judicial custody. According to the investigators, the woman, who works at a factory in Mangolpuri and lives in Pitampura, was waiting near the B block bus stand in the Saraswati Vihar area when a Bihar-registered sleeper bus stopped nearby. Police claim that the woman approached a man standing near the vehicle to ask for the time, following which she was allegedly forcibly pulled inside the bus. Investigators said that the bus then continued moving towards Mangloi, while the woman was allegedly sexually assaulted by two men inside the vehicle turn by turn. The woman was later abandoned near Mangloi metro station after the bus stopped there. She subsequently contacted the cops, who shifted her to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Hospital for a medical examination. An FIR has now been registered under gang rape charges and relevant sections of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Officials are currently analyzing digital evidence, root details, forensic material and witness statements to reconstruct the sequence of events. A police officer involved in the probe said that the sleeper bus had curtains covering its windows, making it difficult for outsiders to notice what was happening inside. It sounds very familiar, doesn't it? A Bihar-registered sleeper bus used in the crime scene has now been seized. It has been identified as a Royal Travels and Cargo bus. Its head office is listed at shop number 10, basement Sri Hari Plaza, Faridabad. The bus was reported to have tinted windows, and it allegedly lacked any emergency exit provisions either. There is a specific kind of cowardice, viewers, in seeking power through violence against women and children. This latest gang rape is not just a crime against one woman. It is a reminder that women's safety still demands urgent accountability, strong policy and safer public transport, and most importantly, it needs a collective change in mindset, because I promise you, if not tomorrow, then day after, we will all forget and we'll move on until the next case comes up, and then one more, and then one more. What exactly is keeping us all in our bubbles, so tightly cocooned in these bubbles that we're living in, that we've become completely blind to the genuine problems that still persist in society? Yes, it's possible for India to keep growing, for us to have good GDP numbers, for us to be a fastest growing economy, etc., etc. But at the same time, it's still possible for us to keep struggling with the same issues of women's security. And until we wake up collectively, I promise you, there will be another debate. There will be another discussion. And tomorrow, who knows, it could just be one of us. On that note, let me bring in Charuvali Khanna, women's rights activist, and Khushbu Jain, an advocate, on the broadcast. Let me begin with Ms. Khanna. Ms. Khanna, you know, I mean, I've been talking about this since the Nirbhaya case. It seems as though nothing much changes in society. It seems that the laws really are failing, because the law is not acting as a deterrent. So what will?
See, rightly, we are fastest growing economy, but let's also acknowledge the fact that we are the fastest growing, as people are saying, the rape capital of the world, which is really unfortunate. Yet your NCRB figures are saying that crimes against women is going down, which is again a big anomaly. So either the police or the people are not reporting, or the police, they are reporting, they're taking the courage to report, to break through the stigma, and the police is not registering the complaints. You also mentioned what will take for our patriarchal mindset to change. Unfortunately, mindset is not a laddu that you give someone to eat it and their mindset will change. It's an intergenerational change. Ever since Nirbhaya, how many more than a decade, what change has come in our educational system? This is the important one done. Anything to include some kind of gender sensitization for prevention of gender-based violence and incidents like this. The second issue I want to raise, you said that it had dark glasses. It was a sleeper bus. Now, irrespective of what kind of bus it is, even the Supreme Court has laid the guidelines, and 2 days ago the matter came up for hearing again. GPS tracking is essential. CCTV should be there. Black shades should not be there. That's for Delhi. Now, when the bus entered the jurisdiction of Delhi, the territory of Delhi, they must have paid some money. Didn't they pay the tax? What was the police doing? I'm sorry to say that the crime and law and order situation in Delhi is very, very severe, and no action is being taken. Policing has totally collapsed. In spite of the fact that we have a woman chief minister who's concerned about it, and today the commissioners of traffic and crime control have been changed. But what is the traffic police doing? When a bus is entering which has dark glasses, curtains, okay, maybe, whatever the reason may be. But what about GPS tracking? What about CCTV? What is it there in the bus? I mean, all states have to be active because there's an interstate movement. If your idea is laws, it's not about laws. We have the best laws in the world. They're becoming more stricter and more harsher. That means the judges will want to avoid giving us strict punishment. But the point is that is there an implementation of the law?
All right, we seem to be losing that line with Charubali Khanna. Let's try to bring her on the phone line if we can instead. Khushbu Jain, advocate, with us on the broadcast as well. Khushbu, same question to you, and you come from the legal fraternity. What is it about our laws that is not today truly acting as a deterrent?
Yeah, I think I should, apart from speaking as a lawyer, I should speak more as a woman who sees that despite laws in place, despite 14 years of Nirbhaya, where we are another
Hello?
allegation of a gang rape in a moving bus. How is this happening when we got a harsher punishments? We have got new laws. We have got a fast track courts in place. Despite having all these things, why are we seeing a history repeating in itself, that also a very deadly history? Now, this is not a failure of law on paper, I would say, but this is a failure of implementation of policing. This is a failure of urban governance and a planning. This is a failure of our collective conscience, I would say. See, if you look into it, all, it's not just one thing, it's, I think, combination of everything together. Because if you talk about as a lawyer and as a law part of it, let me put it very clearly that the changes that have come in law, the fast track court, recording of statements online, video conferencing when it comes to recording of statement, letting go of the aspect that a victim doesn't even have to go to the police station, so that the victim is not being re-victimized or victimized. All these things have come up, but these, having this in place, I think there is something which is missing, and that is just a collective missing part of it. And paying of the price is women. Paying of the price is women, and I think this is a crime against the society, and the state has to get up on this. To put across, if I have to go to step by step on it in every point of it, from black spots in the city. See, the criminals are very much aware about, or people of the country are very much aware about which are the black spots in the specific area that they live in or the city that they are from. A capital of a country like India are having so many black spots. It is there in their own. Delhi police's research that has been done or investigation that has been done, they have identified so many black spots. despite identifying it or despite knowing it. Why are nothing has been done when it comes to those black spots, taking care of those black spots? When those black spots stay in the city, it becomes very easy because there is no deterrent. A person would think, I would not be caught. If I would not be caught, hence I can commit a crime. But let's say there is a scenario where I, you, me, everybody who lives here is aware about it, that if I do a little something which is illegal, I will be instantly caught. I will be little scared. I'll go step back. Now, second that comes after that is the second layer of it. The second layer is, if let's say I am caught, I am being given stricter punishment. Now, punishment also in a timely manner. Now, from that timely manner, the investigation that goes on, the kind of evidences that are being put across, then the trial which is being taken care of, I think this entire thing has to be in a very time-bound manner, and a strict punishment should go out so that people understand that there is a deterrent, there is a deterrence. If you do such kind of a crime, it's no more a patriarchy society or a thought process. I'm sorry, I'm taking patriarchy in a very negative or an absolute negative term, but I think it percolates from that, where person can think that a right of a woman, say of a woman, or a body of a woman has nothing to do when it comes to their wish or their whims. And I think that's something which has to come up as a change. If acts like this, which are on women, are being taken up very seriously by the state, when I'm saying state, it has to be everybody part of the state, us as a society, police, implementation, courts, everybody has to take up this seriously. The second issue that comes in all this is the very important aspect, and the aspect that there is a law in place. The law says, the Motor Vehicle Act says that none of the car, bus, any vehicle, any moving vehicle can have a curtain, can have a dark shield, can have a window. There is a Supreme Court judgment also on that part. After having all this place, why is police not acting upon it? Police, as in the people who have been entrusted for that, to enforce that specific law in place. Why that law is just for the person like you and me, and we just pay a little and get scot-free? Why are they not rigorously checking it? Why do we wait for such kind of an incident to come? Then this comes in the light that, oh, there is a curtain which was been put there, or there is a dark window or a shield which has been put across, which is illegal. Why do we wait for a crime to tell us that something was going on as an illegal? Why this has not been happening as a regular course of checking it and putting them, and a punishment is imposed upon them, or some action has been taken, so that continuous monitoring and implementation of those basic laws of Motor Vehicle Act, which doesn't allow. I think these things also is a failure against women, or failure against a place where women cannot move freely. Today it has happened to somebody else. Tomorrow I am scared to move out. That okay, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening that something like that happens. You are very scared to move out. If one is scared to move out in the society or in the public space freely, I think the state has lost its own the duty it has been entrusted to keep citizens safe.
Absolutely. Let me bring in Charu Ali Khan as well. Ms. Khanna, if you can, come into the debate. Now, we're putting out some figures on our screens of the Nirbhaya fund that was created with an allocation of over 8,000 crores, of which only 6,500 crores was utilized, and there's still a massive amount that's pending. Where exactly and how exactly do we bring in technology? Because I think about this often, right? Okay, law, because it's post facto, probably does not act as a deterrent. We can talk about, yes, educate the men, educate the children. I don't know where that conversation is going either. But when we talk about actual real-time deterrence, that's only going to be possible with surveillance. Now, you had a previous Delhi government that came in and they said we're going to put in more and more CCTV cameras, but we keep having this conversation as well that that's also post facto, right? Once the crime has taken place, you can trace back the culprits via the CCTV footage. How do we then, Ms. Khanna, incorporate? Today we have technology like AI, we have an AI boom that's happening. How do we utilize perhaps AI models, train them to understand in a particular area a real-time crime and maybe send out a signal to the PCRs nearby? Is that the way forward for some sort of real-time tracking of crime? These AI models, they can be trained to understand when something untoward is happening. Maybe if for 20, 30 seconds you see a person struggling, it's able to pick that up. Why is it that we're not thinking along those lines in India yet, and we're still stuck in हम कि यहाँ CCTV लगा दो, वहाँ CCTV लगा दो, window मत cover करो. It's all post facto.
See, let's face facts that there is definitely a lack of political will. Unfortunately, I have to say that. If we want to use technology, we can. The other panelist, Ms. Khushbu, she said, "Oh, women are not, children are not re-traumatized, and you don't have to go in through video conferencing. You can give your." You make a statement. I have been dealing with rape victims and victims of gender-based violence, assisting them financially, legally, and otherwise, mentoring them. I have yet to come a case in my life so far in which the police says, "ठीक है, आप घर बैठ के video conferencing से करिए." Absolutely not. Who has the facility? The poor people, they have the touch screen phones. So we are living in a utopian world. Fast track courts. When your own Supreme Court saying that they have a pendency of 80,000 cases and the other courts have in lakhs, the fast track courts itself have a pendency of lakhs. So, I mean, the entire system has totally collapsed. Now, to come to AI, what you were saying, in this specific incident, let's hold people responsible. Let's not indulge in philosophical discussions. Why not? Why not? The bus has entered Delhi border from a particular border. At that border was checking not done. Hold the person responsible. Hold the police person. If you just hold one police responsible for checking the windows and other requirements and suspend him, take action against him, immediately the entire police force will become more alert. I'm sorry to say they're so busy indulging in psychophancy of politicians or doing VIP control, then where do they have time for crime control? And regarding AI, what you said, yes, AI can be used, because if the algorithm is set like that, is trained like that, that the moment the bus comes and the CCTV identifies that it has black shades on it, the black window panes or whatever, immediately the message will go to the headquarter, and then action can be taken. Or if at the bus stop, you see the predators, they go to normally isolated bus stops, and they know that there may be a woman because there's a factory, if she's working, they know the areas. It's not that they don't. And the moment she was pulled, and there must have been some hangama, something which the CCTV has picked up, which is unusual, the alert should go to headquarters. And immediately the whole system should be activated. But it doesn't happen because nobody is interested. What you want to do is you want to keep women quiet, say, "Oh, we'll give you 3,000 rupees, 2,500, 4,000, 5,000, and they're happy that they're sitting at home, that money is coming. But you are destroying the society. I mean, nobody is realizing that.
Right. I'm going to bring in Ms. Nirmal Kaur, former IPS officer, joining us on the broadcast as well. Ms. Kaur, your thoughts on the same, ma'am. Another day, another rape case has been reported. Where are we lacking as far as deterrence is concerned? It seems that the law is not harsh enough to deter.
See, the law is being made harsher and harsher, but the implementation is where it is very weak. Implementation and also the social initiative. When a woman is being gang raped in a bus,
saying that, ma'am, a police officer who's supposed to implement the law is saying the implementation is weak.
Please let her complete, Ms. Khanna.
That is the truth. Implementation is not to be done only by the police. That is what is wrong with our society. We think everything is a police problem. Of course, once the crime happens, recording it, preventing it, even prevention is duty of the police. But basically, the crime also, like social this thing also. See now a woman getting into a bus, there are black sheets, the traffic, and everybody should check. Why should there be these transparency, the dark sheets of that, those are illegal. Glasses, to make glasses illegal, have, opaque windows in your car or bus, but they have done it. They have done it, and and the poor woman being gang raped, and this is the story of our society, of many societies, not only our society. But as far as possible, is it should not have happened at all. It should not have happened at all. It is just lacks society, lacks morale, lacks morals, lacks implementation, lacks abdication by the society. We've all abdicated and taken this, these kind of happenings for us, acceptable, par for the course. Okay, this keeps happening, so long as it is not you. But when it reaches your home, your immediate surroundings, your own family members, or someone you love, that is when you realize the full impact of it. So that is what, that is what we have to see every incident, every single incident, whether of a single rape or a gang rape like this, as a strict no-no. And utmost has to be done in investigating it, not only investigating it, also see to it that the perpetrators meet the highest possible punishment is awarded to them. That doesn't happen. Police, even if police catches and all the evidence is adduced, then the courts come in and they have their own standards and they have their own parvies. At some level, they will manage. If they cannot manage the police, they'll manage prosecution. If they cannot manage the prosecution, they'll manage the judiciary. We have seen it in so many of these cases, where, especially when people from affluent backgrounds come in, those are highlighted even more, but more or less that happens many times. The people, somebody, has mowed a person passerby, or, somebody illegally driving an expensive car, very, very expensive cars, and then they hit someone, hit and run, and then the drivers come in to say they were driving, then the whole, the advocates, the most expensive legal counsel is available for them. And even in rape cases, I have seen, like the Chawla rape case, it really stands out as a beacon as to what judiciary can do. Chawla rape case was a case which was much more heinous than the Nirbhaya rape case. But in Nirbhaya case, at least, some kind of, despite the very, very quick and lucky investigation by the police, courts took them on for years and years. The hearing went on, despite the very, very quick, fast track thing that was done. And in Chawla rape case, what happens? The trial court holds them guilty. The High Court holds them guilty, and then awards them death by hanging. And they go to Supreme Court asking that the death penalty may please be reduced to life imprisonment. And Supreme Court, it was so kind to them. They said, no, you are set free. Something which was not even asked for, something which was not even part of anything, the Supreme Court set them free in such a heinous gang rape case of Chawla. So, it is not, as ma'am was laughing, my co-panelist, that police is not the only thing. I'm not saying that police is infallible. No one's infallible here. But the thing is, police is not the only thing, even when police has very diligently done its duty in time, delivered everything, given the case to the prosecution and trial court on a platter, and then appeal, date per date, appeal per appeal. This is what our judicial system is. We say that our system is that guilt has to be beyond all doubt. If you see that Chawla rape case, I've studied in detail, totally guilt was proved. Some fictitious, some very tenuous thing. The court said they are not guilty. Not only are they not guilty, what they are asking for is that our death penalty may please be changed to life imprisonment. They are young children, they made a mistake. This is the kind of pleading their advocate has put in. And the court, in its grandiosity, has said, we set you free because some technical lacuna, they set them free. So we should not go on techniques, we should go on substance.
Okay, all right. Ms. Kiran Bedi also joins us on the broadcast. Ma'am, thank you for speaking to Newsx. I want to get your perspective. Another rape case reported in the national capital. What does one do, ma'am?
Well, in this case, so far, whatever I've heard or read, is that here were these men determined to look for a victim. They were apparently looking for a victim. The fact that the bus had shades, had the curtains covered, they were looking for a victim. I think that's, so what do you do with a determined two brutes looking for a victim? So here it is. Now, the other angle is, that means that any bus which is moving around and has all the curtains not drawn out, but covered, windows covered, I think it should be reported. That means any one of us who are commuters on the road, and we notice that there's looks like an empty bus but with curtains on, I think it's time to caution the police control room, the traffic control room. But third, once that such buses move around, today Delhi police is very well equipped with cameras all over the city, and they should detect it right away and send a traffic patrol to stop and check. So I think we can do prevention, community prevention, police response system. Because the fourth, which I'm interested in knowing, is who are these two men who've been arrested? Are they having any past criminal record? If they have a past criminal record, that means we need to increase our verification system of all criminals on record who have a past criminal record. Trace them, because if they have a cases pending, check out, are they on bail? Who were their sureties? Are they attending the court? Have they jumped the bail? Because here are people, they are not first timers. These are not first timers, they're bound to have a record, either here or in a neighboring state. And today we have a criminal record system by which you can find out of a particular person if he has a criminal record in the region, anywhere else. So I think these are the points I would like to list out.
Right, absolutely. On that note, I thank all of our guests for joining us on the broadcast.